Miss Samra, you may lead.
Thank you so much. Shall we start?
Yes, Miss Samra.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here. It's been a long time that I got in touch with this platform, and I was actually missing it. However, I got engaged with some life changes with my own life, and I moved out of country. It was a great experience, and using that I help people as well. So before we start, I would like to ask a question from everybody who's present in this chat, in this session. What do you see on your screen, and what is odd about this picture? I would request for answers, and believe me, I don't move ahead if I don't get answers, So I asked a question from my audience here. What do you see in the picture, and what is odd about it? I had many people interacting with me on chat. I request them to interact live. Yes, please, Marva.
It's written as paper waste. I think we should recycle paper, or we don't waste paper.
Okay, lovely observation. Yes, excellent observation. Anybody who would like to build on Marva's observation here? It is a picture of label that says or reads. Yes, please. Haris, let's just interact. I'm okay with it if you interact without raising your hand.
Okay, by permission of you, dears. I think paper waste is, paper waste is something, or some paper that's not usable anymore. This is the paper that we don't use, or we can't use it anymore. I just get something we can trust it, or we can put it on the recycle bin.
That's correct. That's correct. Lovely. You're very close, both of you. Yes, Ali.
Hello, ma'am. It seems like something like graphic designing, or something 3D design.
Okay. So you see it in a totally different perspective. Okay, thank you very much for your input, Ali. Anybody else?
I want to tell my share. Actually, this page is about something that it
is this Shakila?
Paper waste. It means that we should not use paper in bad way, and we should use paper in good way. Yes, dear teacher, use paper that way.
Okay, thank you very much. What I could gather, I was unable to hear you clearly, Shakila. However, what I could gather for the consumption of audience, I'd say that she's saying that paper shouldn't be wasted, and it must not be thrown on street like this. So I'm going to give you the story behind this picture. I took this picture last week, actually, and I found it very ironic that the paper that itself is a label of a bin, probably, or of a place where you collect all that paper, and the label itself was thrown on the street. This is very close to where I live here, and because of the irony, I took the picture, and when Mahin contacted last week, so I thought of using this in my discussion with you. So moving ahead, this is just for our conversation. I will just go through a little bit of house rules, and I would request everybody to look at it, to listen to me, and participate as much as you can, because I thrive on people's participation, especially when it's coming from youth. I would request people who are talking to switch on the camera, and once you are done talking, you can switch it back off. Participation is absolutely necessary in this session, because when we talk, we learn. What goes with participation is people generally feel underconfident, especially in online sessions, that if I talk, I may say something wrong. So please know that no answer is a wrong answer, because us human beings, we are individuals. We think differently. Our perceptions are very different. And you don't know, you might teach someone something. Okay. Second is, if you have a question, please raise hand and ask a question. Do not be shy, because a question is again a path towards learning. No question is wrong. No answer is wrong. Okay. So moving to the topic which was decided, the public speaking content would be, I will talk very little about what is public speaking. It is very self-explanatory. I will give a little magical trick to open a session. I will share a story of 3 T's, and then we will conclude. Okay, that is not going to take more than 20-25 minutes of your time. Okay, like I said, very self-explanatory. Public speaking is the act or process of making speeches in public. Now, I'm going to share the story where I made my first public appearance. I was 21 years old, and I was going to teach a class in the aviation sector. My audience were very senior cabin crew, very senior Czech cabin crew, and 2 pilots and a management person and a boss who were monitoring me. And trust me, on that day, my legs were shaking. I was thirsty again and again. My lips were completely dry. I couldn't talk. And the only thing that helped me talk was practice and a little bit of what I will share with you right now. Okay, we will move on to the opening of a session. Many people find it very fearful that if we will stand in front of public, and it is a very general phobia and fear. It is not very easy to stand in front of public and speak. People have many questions about themselves. And then moving on, people have a fear of what if somebody asks something that we do not know? There are a number of fears, and you will have to counter those fears by practicing more and more. So let's move on. How to open a session in a public speaking. Now, a trick to open a session is to get inside the mind of your audience and open it. Open the mind of your audience. There's a very famous saying, I've pasted it here as well, that an open mind is like an umbrella. It functions the best when it is open. Now, can somebody please tell me, how can you help someone open their minds? Any answer is welcome. Please know, no answer is a wrong answer. What will you do in your own capacity? Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum. We can start by throwing any interesting question.
Lovely, lovely. So ask me one of my questions. Take my attention.
Okay. I want to ask, when you start your public session, speaking sessions, what was your experience at that time? I want to know that.
Of public speaking?
Yes, when you did it first time, for the very first time.
My first time of public speaking was my first time of public speaking. but that was not the day I
Yes.
stood in front of the public for the first time, because I had practiced,
Okay.
but my audience were definitely different. Thank you for asking that question. Who was that, by the way?
I'm Shamreen Amir from Karachi, Pakistan.
Samreen? Hi, Samreen.
Yes.
Very nice to meet you over line. Yes, please.
Thank you.
Just speak. Do not, no need to raise hands.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw somebody, excuse me, raising hand. Please speak.
One way, I want to tell my share. One way to open the audience mind is to tell a funny story related to our speech.
Oh, lovely. Very nice. To tell a funny story related to our speech. So, do you have a story in mind? And may I know your
Yes.
name, please?
My name is Sheikh Lozani. Actually, I have like this experience. Yes, I had at university when I have
Okay,
presentation.
Shakila, I'm
Actually, it
sorry.
was a small group. Yes, yes, teacher. Sorry, I have poor connection. That's why you don't have.
It's okay. We are able to
Your,
understand.
when
It's okay. It's perfectly
I
fine.
was at university, yes, university when I have a seminar and I will present something to my classmates. On that time, I do the same thing. I did the same.
Oh, lovely. Thank you for sharing. Thank you very, very much, Shakila. Shakila is sharing that whenever she presents in her university, or whenever she has to present, she opens her topic with a relevant, funny story. I like that idea. Yes, Maham.
Oh. Yeah, may I say?
Yes, please, Haris. Yes, you're unmute already.
Yeah. As you know, we have to have something how we can read our mind of audience. So when you come at first, you read our mind that you showed us a picture about the waste paper. Everyone, you examine everyone to know what's this. So we can, as I have experience that I was once upon a time I was assistant in master classes in Kabul, Afghanistan. So on that time, I want to know the impression of students by showing we can use the audio lingual, showing video, showing pictures, maybe showing some sound, maybe by asking some questions, maybe by playing a role play. So at first, when we start by these things, so the audience will ask, and they will be full of questions that, so what's going to be the next. So yeah, this is by this way we can once upon a time, it was my first time that I went to a class. It was like 65 students. I was teaching there as assistant teacher. So for the first time, I feel so shy. I feel so shy. Then I control my class by asking some question, by knowing the level of knowledge, by knowing the level of the student's age. So this is the something that we can grab that audience attention to us, as you grab our attention to this meeting.
Exactly, sir. Thank you so much. Beautiful insight. Beautiful insight. You have shared your experience, and you have also highlighted what I did, which was part of my next question as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, Haris has highlighted that what I did, how I tried and opened up your mind, because as said in public speaking, the first thing, like public speaking is like marketing. If you want to sell your product, yes, please, Maham. Yes, please.
Ma'am, I think so.
Would you like to say
Continuous learning, encourage them to read books, listen to broadcast, watch educational videos about them. Because first time I want when my teacher has an important homework due, so I can go to ma'am says that you can lecture to a class. So ma'am was going from my class and I handle my class. I
Wow,
gave
that's
him
a
lecture
good response.
and I gave him lecture, learned them, and write their homeworks. And so, ma'am can appreciate me that I have many questions about my class. So it's my thinking is by learning.
Beautiful. So yes, you are absolutely right. Maham, was it? You're absolutely right. You cannot speak confidently in front of public unless you have subject matter knowledge. So whatever subject you are going to present, you have to have at least intermediate to expert level of knowledge so that you can handle basic questions. So thank you very, very much for your input. So let's look at what do we have here? Yes, first thing is by breaking the ice, like everybody said, and exactly highlighted by Haris, that what I did also is I showed a random picture to all of you and it helped breaking the ice. And before that, if you have noticed, Miss Maheen also said you can chat with me and introduce yourself. This is a beautiful key to break the ice amongst the audience. Let me tell you one thing. Now, ever since I have joined this company in the UAE, I have trained about 1,000 individuals in the company. So not that there are 1,000 individuals, there are 700 individuals that I've trained. So I'm retraining them. The count has gone up to 1,000 plus. So imagine there are so many people in an organization and I'm one person who is speaking in front of them. I have to again and again break the ice. It is not that I did it once with them and I don't have to do it again. No, I have to, because it is very evident and it is very, very normal for audience as well to feel shy or hiding so that the speaker does not put spotlight on them. I do that. Sometimes you will have to, even after breaking the ice, you will have to ask or draw answers out of your audience. You are supposed to do that. However, very, very respectfully. So yes, by breaking the ice, how I break the ice, I start an introduction session with them and I tell them to share something new that they have done ever since they met me the last time. And I either that, or sometimes I take block, because it's a one-on-one it's in-person session. So I take toys and blocks with me, like building blocks, and I give exercises, team building exercises. That helps a lot. So these are the tips you can, if you go online and you read, there are numerous small 1 minute, 2 minute games that you will find which will help them break the ice. If you remember, if anybody had taken my session on the same platform previously, you would remember that I previously presented 2 pictures and I asked the audience to find the difference. That was also to break the ice and take the attention of audience. Like I was saying, public speaking is like marketing. You have to grab the attention of your audience. You have to have some kind of hook to put the bait in front of your audience and fish them. Okay, like we said, grabbing attention. Now, anybody else, did you feel I was able to grab your attention when we started?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you How did I do that?
You engage us by showing that picture, and we start thinking about that what is odd in that. So you have engaged us. Yeah.
And were you questioning my question? That, hey, I don't find anything odd in the picture. What is she asking?
No, I found the odd, but I didn't say anything because I was thinking it's written paper, and I can't find any paper over there. So that's why I haven't said anything.
You found it very odd. Okay, lovely. Okay, but you know what? You were right.
Okay,
I mean, we were close.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody was right, and everybody was on point, and it was very odd for an ironic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. So, okay. So give me, while we are on the topic, I believe someone else also tried to speak. And you can speak. You're welcome to speak, please. Okay, now I'm going to move on to my next question. It is an open question. No answer is wrong. Give me some more ideas on grabbing your audience attention. Think of yourself standing in front of public for the first time. What will you do?
Ma'am, by asking questions.
Okay, lovely. Yes, Fakrunisa.
Ma'am, observe the aura of audience, then what type of people and what they want and
Being
demand.
energetic, teacher.
Beautiful. Understanding your audience and then pose a question. Yes, somebody else was saying.
Did you got?
By asking about some background knowledge about the topic we are going to present.
Oh, that is very interesting. I'm going to use it in my next session with my public. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you. It is sensitive. However, you have to use it very, very wisely so that you don't. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Can I speak, ma'am?
Yes, please. You're always welcome to speak.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. At first, hello. I hope all of you doing. By asking you that question, ma'am, how can we grab the audience attention? We have different ways by grabbing others at the audience attention. Maybe we can start our speaking with a warm-up or playing a game, or maybe as you start the session with asking a question. We have different ways by grabbing the audience attention.
Yeah. Now that, thank you very much. Thank you so much for your input. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes.
As I think the best thing is to be yourself, not mimic someone's speech or not mimic.
Yes, teacher.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Is that what you're saying?
For example, that know yourself. First, improve yourself to the audience. That I mean that don't mimic the speech of any other. Be yourself and
be respectful. So true. So
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
It is one of the first traits. So true, sir.
Be on your own path. Be on
yes,
your own.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes. Thank you so much for your input. Yes. Someone is requesting for speech. Please, yes, go on.
So, hi, my name is Nasmil. I'm a yoga teacher. So, I also have big, large crowd and audience to entertain. So how I grab attention is I ask them to breathe deeply, and I ask them to be aware of their bodies and their surroundings. So this is something that worked for me, at least in a yoga setting. It is a very good mindfulness exercise as well.
Okay. So would you like to share the detail with our audience? Because we would like our audience to know this as well. And I will come back to the person who's asking for permission to speak.
Yeah. Is that me?
Yes, after you, I will request the person who's asking for the permission.
Yes.
You can carry
So
on.
I just asked them to deep breathe and ask them to be aware of their surroundings and be aware of their bodies. And there's this amazing mindfulness exercise and kind of guided meditation thing that goes on in that
Okay.
environment.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hina. Thank you. For those who couldn't hear, Miss Hina here shared that she asks her audience to breathe very deeply, and it helps in mindfulness and awareness of your surrounding, and it calms people down. So yes, thank you very much. The person who was asking for permission to speak, please speak.
Yes, hello, I am
Yes,
Shella
teacher.
here.
Hi, Shella.
Oh, okay. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, asking question is secondary, I think. So first of all, the body language is very much important. That is called as a non-verbal language. One character comes in my mind, that is Charlie Chaplin. We had experience of so many movies of Charlie Chaplin.
Beautiful example.
Yes, he didn't say anything, but we understand and comprehend all the things, all the emotions and all the matters and issues which are going on there. But secondary is we must introduce our qualities and our abilities and our input and potential that we have, that can make the interest in the audience, that they are able to convince to listen ourselves.
Thank you very much, Shella.
Yes,
I
teacher.
cannot agree more. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Nisa, I'm so sorry. Please speak. Thank you, Shella.
Okay, teacher,
Yes, please,
being
Dr. Nisa.
energetic at the beginning of a presentation can impact. Do you have my voice, teacher?
Yes.
Energetic at being energetic at the beginning of presentation and having eye contact to each of audience can impact and can impress others.
Lovely. Thank you very, very much. Exactly. We have audience sharing their input on body language, that is non-verbal communication, that should be very respectful. And eye contact is something that I preach a lot. Thank you very much, Dr. Nisa. Eye contact is something that I preach a lot, and it is a precursor and a sign that you are listening to somebody and giving them respect, even if you are at a distance. Beautiful input, everybody. Thank you very much. Let's move on. We have already discussed this in detail. Let's see what we have here. Yes, storytelling is a beautiful trick to grab the attention. If you start your session with a story, probably your own story, a movie that you have seen, a book that you have read, it will always and always grab the attention of your audience. Appropriate joke is also approved by many public speakers, and they always start with a joke that is very appropriate. Like somebody said in our audience, you have to read your audience. So whenever you're preparing a public speaking session, it is always necessary, not important, it is necessary to understand and know your audience beforehand, not on the day of your session. If you know your audience, you will be able to prepare your material accordingly. Now pose a question. We have a lot of input about questions, and share an interesting fact, and that specific thing can be about the subject matter that you are going to speak on. For example, I was talking to one of my audience yesterday, and I was discussing, like I posed a question: what is the difference between excuse me, customer service and customer care? So there was a lot of input from the audience. I started with this question and then moved on to a fact that was done through a research. It was a very interactive public speaking session. So you can use all of these tricks and all the tricks that your audience have discussed, because like I said, no answer is wrong. And honestly, it was everything that was shared. You will find it in a textbook, in a published material as well. Yes, if you wish to speak, Fakhrunisa, you can.
Teacher, do you think, is there any difference between storytelling and sharing an interesting fact in presentation?
Yes, there is a difference. Let me give you
storytelling.
Let me give you an example. Yes, for example, like I just now I shared, I'll give you an example, and thank you very much for asking. Just now I shared about my yesterday's session. So I opened the session with a question and asked my audience, what is the difference between customer service and customer care? So after they gave their input, I shared my own story with them, which was that I had interacted with a service provider through call and what kind of service they gave, and after the service went wrong, when I contacted the customer support, what happened after that. That was my personal story I shared with them, that they found very interesting and they built on it. A fact instead was in my presentation to them was that there was a survey that took place in the USA. 13,000 customers took part, and these were the findings. So these are two separate things. Storytelling can be something you heard. Story is something you have experienced, or story is something that you have read through an article. A fact, on the other hand, is something which is proven through approved means. In facts, while you're sharing facts with your audience, you can have charts, you can have stats in the fact, numerical facts. These really grab attention. Now, I'll ask a question. Have you ever read an advertisement which starts with, did you know? Many advertisements.
Okay, teacher.
They start with, did you know? As soon as.
Yes, we saw that. Yeah.
Did you know you have salt in your toothpaste?
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, I do. So when you read these lines, did you know? And then after did you know, you will read a small fact written. So this is again grabbing audience or customer's attention and posing a question or a fact. So these are two different things. Thank you very much for asking the question. Yes, Ali.
Ma'am, I am a theater activist, and whenever I start performing on the stage, so usually I connect people by telling the story and tell them, did you know this has happened and where you stand? And it connects the connectivity and the interest of people. And trust me, at the end of the drama or the play, and people came to the stage and tell their stories and tell their sharing. And even though if the session is interactive, when they join stage and perform the particular character, then this should be happen like this and that. This is my personal.
Thank you very much. Biggest learning comes from personal experiences and our own mistakes. Thank you very much for sharing this beautiful fact. And I trust I will be using all of these stories that I've learned from all of you in my next session here. Okay. Yes, Mr. Ahmed is trying to contact. Yes, please share.
Assalamu alaikum. Permission, teacher, and all colleagues. 16 years ago, I realized that it's necessary to have a training center in Herat, Afghanistan. So I have made decision and established. It's a real story, teacher. Establish a private training center by the name of Professional Academy of Commerce for young women and men students. The curriculum was concrete preparation classes, teaching foreign languages, and computer classes. After few years, we were honored for introduction of more than 1,000 students to the government universities and private universities. Every year, as a result, the Herat province became a scientific hub of Afghanistan. Because of that, we prepare a meeting for the students who were success in the concours results. We collect around 2,000 students and families in one hall, and during that time, the governor asked the introducer, please ask the owner of this academy to come here and talk something about the academy. It was my first time that I was stand before
in front of the
around
public.
2,000, of the 2,000 people in one hall. Yeah, in one hall. When I saw there was a lot of people, and also the governor of that provinces, and also CEO of universities, every academic person there. When I start, after 1 or 2 minutes, my tongue was stopped, and that time I said, please encourage our teacher, our academies, and clapping for that. And when all the audience clapping, the teacher, I was take a rest because I was stopped my tongue that time. It was my first story. It was very first time.
So
thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience, and once more, thank you very much for the work you're doing for youth. It is extremely important that we help our youth, because considering the circumstances the world in, they have a lot of responsibility on their shoulder. And thank you very much, sir, for doing what you're doing. And thank you for sharing this experience with us. So there may be a time that we will come across a situation where we will have to speak in front of public and we're not prepared. So these tips that we have discussed amongst each other today, these will of course come in handy, and you will always be prepared, and your mind will start thinking like this. For example, the story of 3 T's. This will help you mold your mind, or rather make a small mental model in your mind that how to progress in life daily, when you get up, how to present your day, and how to, because if you look at it, your life is no less than a public speaking. If you're not speaking, you're presenting yourself to others. So if you go according to the story of 3 T's, it will help you more and more. So I'll make it visible. Can somebody share what, in your opinion, what could it stand for? 3 T's. Number 1 T stands for what? Number 2 T stands for what? And what is number 3rd T? Any guesses?
May I say?
Yes, please. Always.
Yes. I think 1 T is to tell them. Another T is, to tell them what you told. And another T is tell them what you're going to tell them.
Beautiful. Who is this?
Haris.
Haris, thank you so much. Thank you very much for making this easy. As said by Haris, and I wish I have an award for this question, Haris. I saved some money here. All 3 T's stand for tell, tell, tell. However, the order is somewhat different. First, you tell them what you are going to tell them. Second, you tell them what you have previously shared briefly. in the last, you tell them what you have already told them. This is very, very easy. For example, I'm going to give you the example of this session. If you remember, I showed a slide which had a title saying content. Through that slide, I gave you a hint or a one-liner brief as to what we're going to talk about. It said, what is public speaking, the story, magical trick, and summary. That was the first slide, which was tell them what you are going to tell them. So it was my opening slide. And even if I don't have a slide, I would start by giving anybody who's listening to me a little brief about the topic I'm about to share. The second T is right here where we are. I am telling you what is required for basic public speaking. And the third T is going to be when I will summarize all of it, whatever we have talked about. So thank you very much again for guessing it right. All three T stand for tell, tell, tell. So first one is you tell them what you are going to tell them. The second word is tell them. And the third one is tell them what you have already told them. So if you have noticed in my slides, there is T1, T2, and T3 marked. I will now go back on my slide and I will show you that slide number T1. This is my T1 slide. Here, I just hinted as to what I'm going to share. From here, T2 started. And still we are at T2. And now this is also a part of T2 where I'm still talking to you. Now I will give you an exercise. Think for 1 minute. Think of a movie, a cartoon series, or a book or a story that you have read. Break it down into 3 T's. For example, give an introduction, talk a little bit about the story, and then summarize it in 1 line or 2 lines and share it with me. At least 2 responses, please. You have a minute to prepare. A usual show of hands would be appreciated. Anybody? Has anyone watched Lion King? Hi, Haris.
Ma'am, can I say my real story with short? As I
sure.
Yeah. I wrote it to Miss Main in my previous class. It was before this. I wanted to give an example of these 3 T's that we can use it the same thing in a story, that we have a opening, we have a body, and also we have a conclusion. So, and
lovely.
Yeah, these 3 T's can stand like starting, body, and the conclusion. So I want to talk in 2-3 sentences about the first day of college. When I start the college on the first day, so I was studying English class. So our teacher came to our class and said, it was our conversation class. She said that I will give you 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you will be ready to talk and or about yourself for 5 minutes and introduce yourself. So after 5 minutes, so I said to myself that, so you think that I could speak? I could speak to the new students, and there were about 40, 40 of my classmates, including me, and the 30 students were girl. So as I was in boys school and it was the first day of my college, it was what do you think? It was for me, or it's a difficult? So
were you shy?
yeah, I felt shy, but I said to myself, oh, I studied up to advanced and intercom 2000 system English. I can no matter. But as I went in front of the class to the students, I started like, for example, my name is Haris. I studied this, blah 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 blah. I was feeling shy. My red face is coming minute by minute, or maybe step by step.
Understand.
Yeah, I feel so shy, and I feel that my feet was shaking.
Yes, it happens to me. Still does.
Especially when I enter after maybe 10 or 12 years of school that we studied in boys school, and we entered to a mixed class that we were boys and girls. So it was my first that I said, oh, she will ask something for me. Oh, she is looking, she is staring to me, or he is maybe I made mistake. So it was so hard for me. But when I started, I speak till 3 minutes. Suddenly I said to the teacher, I'm finished. But that was the day that shy, after encouraging of my teacher, I feel that told myself I should face the challenges, and I'm going, yeah, I'm going to be a man for the future, for my I have to some goals, and I started yeah, I have to face this thing. I started speaking. Yeah, I started speaking when I went home. I arranged some pillows on my bed or on my bedroom. I spoke with pillows like audience. I speak yeah, I speak with mirror. Hey, build yourself.
Mirror helps, yes.
I build myself with speaking with mirrors. I speak with pillows like they are my audience. Or I use somehow that I studied in a book that even there was a person that he can't speak in front of audience, so he went to the desert, and he speak to the sheep as audience. So yeah, so as I conclude this piece, the first T was my starting of the first day with shy. So starting of first day, but after that I asked you that it was hard for me, or it was not hard for me, or maybe it was easy to speak. So it was the grabbing of your attention. So after that I said that what I have done to the class, what I studied, and what method I used to build myself. So we can say that the first was the first T, and the first T was introduction. The second T was the things that
the real story. Yes.
Say the story, the whole story. It means it was the body of a story, and in conclusion, the detail. And in conclusion, I said that what theory or what method I used to build myself.
Okay, exactly. This is, I mean, the day, like you have described your own day, anything, any day, any project that you work in school, college, or your workplace, anything, if you go by the structure of 3 T's, there are high chances that you will be successful. And Haris, thank you very much for sharing your story. Thank you very much. And you have precisely done it in 3 T's. Thank you so much. We have Mr. Mansoor. Tanya, I'll come back to you. Mansoor, you would like to share?
Yes, sir. Hello to everyone.
Yes, please. Hi. Hi.
So I want to tell you about The Lion King, the cartoon that I saw when I was kid. So I want to break it down into 3 T's.
Yes, please.
The first one is tragedy. The story, it means the story begins with the tragic death of Mufasa. Like Simba's father, which set off a chain of events.
That's correct.
And the second is transformation. Like Simba's undergoes a transformation as he matures and
he learns things.
Yeah, he learns important life lessons, ultimately accepting his role as a king.
Exactly.
And a third one is triumph. It means the story ends with
yes, summarize it.
The story ends with Simba's like triumphant return to the Pride Lands and restoring restoring balance and becoming the new king.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Mansoor, thank you for building on this example and very precisely said that you have very beautifully divided into the 3 T's. You have first given the introduction to the cartoon movie, and then you gave a brief about what happens exactly and the conclusion. Thank you very, very much, Mansoor. And there was Tanya, if you would like to speak. We're all ears. Okay, I'm not sure if you're here, Tanya. We cannot hear you, Tanya. You can continue.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Hi, assalamu alaikum.
Yes, walaikum assalam. I just want to tell that as you asked that have you seen this movie, The Lion King? So I wanted to share my experience that I have watched it twice, I think, but it's a long time ago. So right now I don't remember the exact thing, but I just remember that it was quite tragic and very emotional story. And it is, if you want to tell such a story to someone, so if the audience is very kind of emotional, so they will relate to such kind of stories. So it's a story about
that is so true. That is true.
So it is a story about a cub, and he learned everything with the passage of time. In the beginning, he was feeling very scared with the outside world, that his father is no more with him, and he's so scared and he's so frightened with even a little bit sound. He got scared. And then with the passage of time, he learned everything at his own, that we have to live alone and we have to do everything at our own. So it was it is kind of very motivational story, you can say, that how we have to build our own self and how we have to like move and grow in this world. So at the end, I would say that this story, we can learn a lot from this little bit story. Like this is kind of cartoon, but still we can learn a lot from this story, and you can say cartoon.
Exactly. Yes, it was a cartoon movie.
And
Yeah.
I remember
And,
I used to
yeah.
cry a lot while watching this movie. I really cried a lot.
Oh. Okay, so you're a very sensitive person.
Yeah, very sensitive.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your input, Sanya. Exactly, like everybody said, to conclude, if I would say the same thing, if I would want to do this exercise on Lion King, so I would go, the first T, I would go by saying that it is a story, it is an emotional yet happy ending story of a lion's cub. And then I will describe in the second T, I will describe the entire story as like Haris said, as a body of the story, or second T. And then in the third T, I will say, so this is how the cub won the kingdom, and it was a happy ending. So I will relate all three and use different words. Whereas the second T, where I actually tell the detail, is the biggest T, where you spend more time on during public speaking sessions. So it is very, very important to think in 3 T's. Thinking in 3 T's will make your mental model, and also will help the audience who is listening to you in your public speaking session. It will make their mental model, prepare them for what is there to be coming. And it helps people retain stuff, and repetition will always and always help any human mind to retain important and maximum information that you would give during your public speaking sessions. So like my third T, this is the part where I summarize and repeat what I've already said. I shared with you what is public speaking. It is an art of speech, making speeches in front of public. But you must remember that your speeches are opened properly, are briefed properly, and are structured and are concluded properly as well. So you will have to remember very basic things. There has to be an introduction. There's going to be a detail, and then there's going to be a summary or conclusion. This is how all your public speaking sessions will take place. In our opening of the session, we grab attention of audience by doing many things, as we discussed: questions, facts, jokes, stories, whatever is your choice, or a game if it is an in-person session. Then you move on to 3 T's, break it down in a structured manner, and then you close it the third T, where you give a summary of what you have already done. Okay, moving on to, while I'm concluding, I will give everybody a challenge. Pick the best way to break the ice. Which answer?
Joke.
Number 2.
Number 1, 2, or 3? Thank
Number
you very,
two.
very much.
Number two.
Yes, that's correct.
Number
That's
2.
correct.
Number 2.
That's, thank you very much. Thank you, audience. This is the best way to break the ice for your public speaking sessions. There are 5 choices. Which choice is correct in this challenge?
It's 4. Tell them content.
Thank you very much.
Tell them
Yes.
content.
Fourth one.
Tell them content.
Thank you. The detail, the story of Lion King.
The
Thank
summary
you.
of story.
Exactly. The story, the detail, actually. The second T means where is the time where you spend most time during your sessions.
Yeah, content.
Okay. And lastly, you do not start on the day you have to speak. Public speaking does not happen on the day you have to speak. It starts way before. By this, I mean, unless you practice, unless you, like Haris shared, he practiced and practiced. Unless you practiced, you will not be able to make an impact. Okay? This session today, the session that I'm doing with all of you, it's more like rather a discussion. I did not do it today. Ever since Miss Maheen shared with me, I'm practicing. I'm practicing and practicing and improvising. I knew it will really be dependent on my audience interaction. So I was highly dependent on that. However, I had prepared and prepared and prepared. I knew I had to say what is it that I have to say on which pointer or slide. I knew which story is there, my personal story that I have to share. I knew from the very beginning, from 7 days before, that I have to give hint to my audience of Lion King if they are reluctant, which I did. So I did not just come up with it today. I did it. I'm preparing it from the time I was told that I have to do it. Okay. So very, very important. Practice, practice, practice. It will help you make your own mental models. Okay. And in the last, please do connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I use other social media very less. Please do connect with me, and I will share a guide with all of you. It will probably help you at some point in life. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and thank you very, very much for having me, tolerating me, and interacting with me. You gave me a lot to think about and learn. Thank you so much, audience, and thank you, Maheen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You've been a
We have
lovely
learned
audience.
a lot. We
Thank
gain
you,
a lot
madam.
of things.
Thank you so much, dear teacher.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very cooperative. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
You can address me by my name. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, I request you to please share this video on our group, WhatsApp group.
Okay, I will request Miss Maheen. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
I have followed you already.
Thank you. Very kind of you. And if anybody is interested, I can share it on LinkedIn, the guide.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am, sure.
Yes, please, teacher. Please share it.
Thank you.
Madam, can we leave?
Yes, I believe it is okay to conclude.